is Georgie. Georgie's a year old. I raised it from little on, so whenever I could get him on to now. Things are not as good as I'd like them to be. He's handleable. He doesn't bite. He is pretty, like, overall a good bird, but he doesn't like to train. And I don't know what to do. I've tried messing with the diet. I've literally everything I can possibly think of. And I have 3 other birds at home, and they're all rescues, and they're all doing great. Like, I've watched all your videos, and I have your courses, and I got the baby bird course for him, and then I was like, well, it's not quite, I don't know, like, everything I try seems to fail, basically.
Aww.
Like, I'm like, well, I got these other rescue birds, and I was like, well, this is going great, so I want to, like, raise my own. I think it would be fun. So I got him with the intention of doing that and, like, wanting him to free fly and recall, and because my other birds do that at home. They do indoor recall. They're fine with that. They're really good at learning stuff, and, like, we can work through stuff, but he, like, he doesn't care about treats. He doesn't care about hanging out. He doesn't like head pets. He doesn't like anything. And, like, when I give him the seasonal feeding system, like, he, like, started squealing more, if that makes any sense. Like, he was going, like, but, like, not him screaming. Somewhere in the middle.
I know the sound.
Yeah, it's like, it's really weird, and I just can't get past it, and you're frustrating me. So I need help.
All I can say is congratulations, you have a Galah. He sounds totally normal.
Well, that's good. At least he's normal.
What's comprising most of his diet? Is it just pellets?
Just the pellets.
Okay.
And just in, like, portioned amounts.
Okay.
So he doesn't get, like, to eat all day.
Okay.
I just give him enough for a meal.
Okay.
And then a meal at night.
Okay, so 2 feedings of pellets.
Of pellets.
Okay.
Yes, because I didn't notice an improvement with the seasonal feeding.
It was just kind of going to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but he loves it. He'll eat it, but I didn't feel like it was doing what it was supposed to. So I was like, I'm just gonna stop this, because I noticed an improvement in my other birds.
Okay.
They wanted to fly more. They wanted to train more. They wanted to do all this stuff more.
Yeah.
Like how you kind of described, but, like, there's no response to it. In fact, he wanted to eat it more than the pellets. Not the pellets, the treats.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
It's seasonal more than the trees.
Yeah, I feel like he was kind of obsessed, like, with the seasonal feeding.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, what? And then occasionally he'd go full baby on it and try to, like, and
How's that go?
yeah, I don't know. So I just quit.
We have had a lot of birds respond well to our seasonal feeding system, to the point where we do use it for flight training.
Okay.
So instead of eliminating it, you would say, okay, this is the highest value.
Okay.
So now I'm going to use it really intentionally, and I'm going to shape all your flight training around it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, for a kayik that we worked on in home, and, like, a little green cheek conure, they couldn't find any treats that these birds would take, and they're like, but they get really excited about breakfast. And we're like, cool, let's use breakfast. And that's how they deliver their morning breakfast, is through a flight training session.
Like, do you give it, like, in a bowl?
Yeah, that's what they did.
We did flight training for this particular, for the kayik. We did flight training, and then he'd get a bite or 2 out of the bowl, and then we'd reset him, and then we'd do that again, and reset him. And there's variables involved with making decisions on how many repetitions or how much do they eat, but that's kind of the skeleton of what we did to have success with that bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the problem?
So one of the interesting lessons with bird training is that, and I'm finding that we're having to teach this more and more than I ever realized, like more than I ever realized we would need to, and that is that we give kind of this, like, path for people, and a lot of spots that people get stuck is when it's not going as prescribed, but there's a point where you start with what's working. And that's the part we've failed at relaying to people. And in this case, like, oh, he doesn't like treats, therefore he doesn't like training, but he's obsessed with seasonal feeding.
Yeah.
You start there. And then we can get him onto treats later. A lot of what you're dealing with, too, is age. So
that's what I was also thinking. Like, is it just, like, growing period or what?
Yeah, it's not uncommon for galahs to go into this like and it just escalates.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna do for that one. And so I can see how when you're coming from a rescue background and now you've got this baby that seems like he's dying, especially this species, that sound they make is so horrific that you're like, oh my gosh, he must be in so much hunger pain that there's like a guilt associated and we overfeed. And so it's sometimes hard to, like when we have galahs for fly students, it's really difficult to do the diet conversion and train because the owner always feels like the bird is starved when the reality is the bird's not starved because we're weighing it every day before breakfast.
Yeah.
But this species in particular has that sound like a dying squeaky toy.
Yeah. And
so we have as humans have a tendency to overfeed them and then they don't have a desire to train. So totally normal what you're experiencing.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like I've had the difficulty, like you were explaining, from rescue to baby. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'm having trouble going back and forth.
So interestingly enough, when you're dealing with adult birds, we really advocate for permission-based training. But when you're dealing with a baby bird, you almost have to show the path first, which is opposite of permission-based. Sometimes you might have to manipulate the feet to have them step up, which you would never do with a 15-year-old rescue macaw, right? So there's definitely two different approaches. We talk about this a lot in our baby bird course, where there's kind of this transition period where you go from let me manipulate and physically move you to now it's permission-based. And it seems like that might be part of the problem. Also, you're going to a totally different species that reacts differently from the normal conures and quakers.
Yeah.
So I think we can help you out here and just kind of see things in person. And I saw that your goal was for us to take them as a potential project bird.
On this next target, can you ask him to come on the left side of the T-stand and take a few steps? Yeah. Just wait till he's done eating.
Air conditioning.
There.
He'll get frustrated when training. Like if I'm trying to train him a new trick, like say wave.
How long do you do your sessions?
Usually under the 5 minutes.
Okay.
And usually he gets pissed off within the 5 minutes.
Okay.
What do you want to work on? What training can we work on to see either if he's going to present that behavior or if we can avoid it?
Maybe learning a new thing.
Okay. What would you like to teach? Does he know? He knows the spin, right? You've already taught that.
Yeah.
Did you teach that with targeting?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure he'll do it. He's been. He hand fed forever. And he wouldn't take treats forever. And he's just been really slow, if that makes any sense. Mega slow and annoying. Right?
And you said you were trying to teach wave?
Yeah.
And how far have you gotten on it? Because he was just somewhat
I know,
offering
he
his left hand
offers it
foot.
kind of, but it's then when I click, he'll get, at least at home, he'll get a little bit
do you want to try a session here and we'll see if we can help you navigate that?
Yeah, sure. Should I just click when I see it?
What have you normally been doing? Have you been prompting it with
no.
a step up?
I have just been watching and just waiting.
Oh.
Yeah, see, he does this pacing thing too when he gets a little bit heightened.
Oh. That was a tap. Do we want all the language though?
So when we get too exaggerated, I want to change the situation. So let's change something. Can you get your foot?
Spinning.
Will you give me a foot?
Lift it.
Look at me.
He's get me out of this situation.
Okay, so notice where he went from started to get heightened
Yeah.
to now he's like, who's this guy? What's going on? What do you want? We brought him back out of that before it became an issue. That's the goal.
Okay, because I have trouble with that at home too. Like he'll start.
Yep, then change something before you get to that point.
Okay, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've never seen him chomp.
We're capturing the wave.
Oh, he did it?
He did
I
a
was
good one
gonna
right
say.
before that, but I didn't have the clicker in my hand.
Okay.
Go. Go.
Yeah. Okay. Are you gonna get
Go.
it?
Go.
Okay. So even for the little small ones, I should do.
Just
Initially,
Okay.
So that one he held a little longer.
Okay.
And now I might wait for a little bit better one, but we'll see what happens. How the hell did I earn that?
oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Can't believe you're doing it.
So we get him into a begging phase, and then we add a cue.
Okay.
So cute.
Okay.
I know, we could just reward both feet and it's just a dance.
You're doing so good. You guys are so good. Oh my God.
Should we start
You
implementing
said you
a
couldn't get the
cue?
wave, right?
Put a cue on it.
We should start implementing a cue.
Should I? Oh, sorry, sir. No. I usually do this for a wave.
Whew,
I
good
was
job,
helping you
guys.
Just in case you weren't there. So. But you're right on it. So it's still you.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. Excellent. Notice how he's holding it slightly longer.
Yeah.
So you may be able to wait just a millisecond longer before you click.
Okay. That one, bud.
Your other left foot.
You can do it. Remember.
Nice.
There we go.
And that was perfect. It was just a
Little bit longer.
microsecond longer,
Okay.
and your timing is really good.
Look, you're trying to teach me.
That's what he was
Oh
like.
my god, it's so cute. I think I'd want both.
This foot, this one.
Maybe I can trick her.
That's good.
So now
Long
cue
one.
the spin.
Okay. Well, finish eating.
Good.
Okay.
Now do the wave.
Oh, I missed you.
It's okay.
Nice.
And he's got it.
Yeah, he's definitely got it. What else do you want to train?
He held it, was like wiggling it
Oh,
for
really?
like
Oh, that could
A
be
few
super
seconds.
cute. Look at me and my foot.
Oh,
Look at me and my waist.
that
see that? He's holding it longer.
Okay. This is okay. This is the most success I've had with him, like ever. Like this is the fastest he's ever picked up on it.
He's thinking the same about you.
Oh my gosh.
My human is trainable.
Oh, that was cute.
Is that
Thank
great?
God I don't have to send her to you guys anymore. A little bit. Oh my gosh, that's a really good
This
wave.
is
though.
great.
It is.
Yeah, he's doing
And-
really good. Thank you.
Like, you want more? Want more of this foot? This one right here? Check this out.
So now be careful that he doesn't pair the two together. So
Okay.
good job pausing between it.
Okay.
Now cue it. Yeah. Otherwise he'll spin and wave
Okay.
forever. So when we're in his bubble and he's actively engaged, if we're talking with our hands, he's going to get really mad because he thinks we're cueing him and he can't figure it out. If we stepped outside, like I have 6 foot drawn here from another example, but like let's say I'm within a few feet and I'm talking and I'm like, are we done? And he thinks that's the cue, he's going to offer it. And if we're not paying attention to it, we'll lose him and he'll get really mad. A lot of cockatoo species, you have a small window for error. So if you're making a lot of mistakes, you're going to really make him mad and they'll shut down.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening at home. Is like, I feel like we were on a roll when we were doing this right now, and he was getting it. But if I'm trying to teach something, I don't know, and it's not going well, he'll start. And then I'll try to cue him to do something else, and I feel like
you've already lost him.
Yeah. It happens so fast.
Yeah, so then you change something. So I've noticed you like to sit while training.
Yeah.
I would stand up and come to the other side of the perch.
Okay.
Change something before it escalates to an unrecoverable spot.
Okay.
So to recap, when you get Georgie back, it's going to be probably 5 to 10 repetitions. Actually, he's more than 5 to 10. He's probably like 15 to 20 repetitions of the wave. Keep in mind, we saw where he starts to go over the edge and it's hard to recover. We want to stop before that. So it may end up being 10 repetitions. But really think through what you have to do to set yourself up for success. Again, from the environment. If you're sitting at the same spot that you usually train and he gets frustrated, go stand at a different spot. If it's a specific stand, like a T-stand that he associates with frustration, use a different type of surface or a different stand altogether. Try to just think through the things that were triggers for frustration, and we want to avoid that and start to reassociate training in a positive way. So the capturing is awesome, your timing of the clicker is awesome. Just work on delivering the treat a little slower. So the whole idea of having the treats on the table or the chair next to you, I think is really good because it gives you just enough time to get the treat. I would say find somewhere probably halfway between the speed you were giving it, and as we wrapped up, it was a little too slow for his speed. Okay. So find somewhere right in the middle of that. So it might be the CEDAR on your lap. So you click and you grab
What
a
happens when
seed.
I give it too fast?
What's happening, from what I could see, is he would give the wave, and you would click, but you were immediately giving the treat, and so it sped up how fast his wave was because you want to get the treat faster. And so we want to avoid that by click and then let the routine finish, then deliver the treat.
Okay,
so I would say honestly it's halfway between where you started and where you ended. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But that's the end result, is it'll make him rush the trick.
Yeah.
And then that can make him get antsy because he's waiting for the treat. So we just want to avoid triggering frustration with it. Yeah, but he's awesome.
That's good.
It's very trainable.
I've seen.
He is not
him
Project
light up.
Bird material.
Yes.
Because he's so
from
good.
what I've seen, you guys have helped me see that, because he was not. We were having a lot of trouble at home, so I'm excited.
I think you have the tools you need to be really successful with him. I don't see him as
I prefer to train
needing it
myself. You know what I mean? Like, I love training my birds, so it's like I was getting so frustrated with the fact that like I really just want to train him. You know what I mean? Like that's my favorite part about having a bird, and he just wasn't receptive to that at home, and I feel like I can fix that now.
Big thanks to Snake Discovery and Big thanks to Snake Discovery and their friends for hosting our master classes. This is one of their friends.